broadcasting, though. My phone is telling me that I'm broadcasting, but is it telling you that I'm broadcasting? So it's 9:30 right now. Normally, this would be the time when I'd say, hey, everybody, I only got 15 minutes, but I got like 2 hours. So if you don't mind spending a little bit of time with me, you're more than welcome to. This is being broadcast all over the internets, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, as well as the Haps app. At some point, maybe Instagram, that would be swell. Maybe TikTok, that would be swell. And soon to a podcast near you. But it's not going to be broadcast anywhere if Haps isn't working right. If Haps and my phone can work together. It's tough. It's a tough life being a streamer. We got people watching. But by the way, I restarted. So I did a restart of pretty much everything. I restarted my Haps. I rebooted my phone. I disabled and then re-enabled. Yay, it's working. All right, cool. I disabled and re-enabled my Facebook. So I don't know if I'm getting Facebook messages now. If maybe there's a bug where I can't. Maybe Haps decided not to do it at all. What's this? Your connection is better. Excellent. What's going on, Blow Blow? How you doing, sir? You're hungover. Oh no. Did you have fun? As long as you had fun last night, a hangover today is the reward you get for the good time last night. Okay. Excellent. Did you have fun with company? That's the next question. Having fun, but got to go to work in about an hour, but I don't know how. Oh, man. Oh, got to go work out in an hour. Sorry. Yeah, just friends. All right. Getting drunk is one thing. Getting drunk with friends is a whole other level. Or so I've heard. No, princess. Did you get a divorce? What happened? That marriage didn't last very long. Back to the old drawing board. Maybe that was the hit that Bilbo. Maybe that was the assignment. Well, good morning, sir. And thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate you tuning in. Turning in or tuning in, whichever. Got the green card. That's all I need. Got the green card. Your services are no longer required. I want to hear the James Bond theme every time Bilbo says anything. Bilbo the Bilbo, Bilbo, Bilbo the Bilbo, Bilbo. What you doing, man? Nothing. We had some very interesting weather last night. It looks like it's getting melty already. They made the decision that Domino's is going to open up at noon, and I got here about 8. I'm not scheduled until 10, which means if I get here at 9:30, that's still early. But so I'm just hanging out here for a couple hours. Bazinga. So yeah, I'm gonna chill out here and what a nerd. You're a nerd. And yes, I am a nerd. I am indeed. Shows up 3 hours early. I know. Well, I mean, technically, I'm still home. Like, I didn't show up for work. I'm still home. So I barely left the house. Nerds rule. We do indeed. No, I woke up at like 7 a.m. and wanted to make sure I got out of the driveway and made it to work in a decent amount of time. I went and got some Dunkin'. I got a coffee and a bagel. I ate carbs just for you, Bilbo. I was thinking about you the whole time. Bilbo roots for me to get my carbs. They need to bring back 30 minutes or less. No. Yeah, I love carbs. I know you do. But I jumped on here for a little while, talking to my friends. And then you showed up. But yeah, it turns out I got like a couple hours until work starts. So I'm just hanging out here right in front of. I'm parked right in front of Domino's. Well, not right in front of Domino's. Domino's is right there. Domino's. Van. Domino's. So not much of a commute to work today. Yeah, don't park right in front. I don't want to be that desperate. I know. Just I happen to be nearby. That's all. Also, I don't want to park right in front of Domino's really because this is where my van is going to stay I'm going to park in this space when I'm inside, when I'm not making deliveries, and I don't want to park in front of the Domino's because that customers that want to pick up their orders should park, give a couple spaces right in front of Domino's for the people that want to show up and get their pizzas. Is this the place you used to park in the back? Yeah. Oh no, I'm just saying, like, not at 9. Damn on in America. What? Only in America. No, not going to get pizza customers at 9. Normally we don't open until 10:30. Today, apparently, we're not opening until noon. But I wasn't sure if the dentist office would be open. So I just parked in this. This is usually the space that I park when I can park in the front. What else? If anybody's watching right now on Facebook and they're trying to talk in chat, I apologize, but I was informed that the Facebook chat does not work. You can message me, but I won't see it. So I'll try to reply to comments. Cinema's been too full. I'm trying to see Batman. I went and saw Batman on Thursday at 3 p.m. before folks started piling in. How was it? Excellent. Fantastic movie. I like matinees. Matinees are nice. Nice 3 o'clock matinee. Although this was on a Thursday that I went at 3 p.m. and it was a 3-hour movie. And I had a D&D session that I had to go to that started at 5:30. I wasn't going to make it. I ended up not getting to the place until like 6:30, and they just decided not to have the session because nobody else showed up. So I feel the guy is too girly. No. It's a different take on Bruce Wayne. It's a younger Bruce Wayne. Robert Pattinson did a fantastic job. It just isn't like all butch and macho. Like, this is a guy who, he's angry and he's upset his parents passed, and he's all vengeance and all that shit. But I feel like there's too much of that. Better than Christian Bale? I think so, absolutely. Like, Batman's not about being angry. He's he wants to be sure, if nothing else, that no other kid goes through what he went through. And that I am the vengeance, I am the night, the whole, the deep, dark. I mean, this was less dark and gritty and angry and, all that shit. It was more, this was more like somber, like gothic, really. I wouldn't call it emo or anything. Like that's a word that people would probably throw at this, but no, I thought it was really good. Well, it is a trigger, absolutely a trigger. I like a story being told that has a lot more range of emotion. Did he cut himself up? No, it was a really good movie. Like, heaven forbid a human being should show a range of emotions, especially like a Batman Bruce Wayne is not just I'm angry and I want to punch crime. Like, Batman has to be more than that. And a lot of what people are portraying is that, I'm so angry. I'm Batman and I'm angry. It's like, no, Batman wasn't angry. Batman wanted to make sure, and I love this is my favorite take. Batman wanted to make sure that no other boy went through what he went through. Like that he can connect with the fact that he connected with Robin in that same way. So is this early on when he becomes Batman? Yeah, the movie takes place about year 2 of the Batman existing, and this is before he realizes. I mean, technically, this is when he realizes that he needs to be more than Batman. He needs to be more than dark vengeance, punching crime. The term beacon of hope appears in the film, and I don't think necessarily that's the right take, but it's definitely a different take. It's on the right track. Like, it's close to Matt Reeves did a great job. Robert Pattinson did a great job. The actors were cool. It's a beautiful looking movie. A lot of great there's a little bit of dark humor in it. There's action, there's explosions, there's emotion. The thing that I like the most about this, Robert Pattinson is a really good actor working with silence. Like, he doesn't, and that's a cool. Harry Penguin External was awesome. Oh yeah, Colin Farrell did a fantastic job, chewed up just like you'd want him to. when you think of somebody like, Colin Farrell playing the Penguin underneath all the prosthetics and makeup and stuff, like you want him whenever he's on camera, you root for him to enjoy himself. And when like it's exactly what you think it would be. Like him just being the most penguin that he could be. Um like yeah, that's about the best way I can put it. Is like all you want whenever he's on screen, you're just like, man, have fun. And he does. But Riddler's in it. Yep. Catwoman's in it. Yep. Uh, but yeah, Robert Pattinson is really good at when you could say what you need to say without saying a word. That's a sign of a good actor, and he does. He pulls it off. Um, yeah. Hopefully, get to see it next week when the crowd gets less. Yeah. Um, and it's a 3-hour movie. And the couple people were complaining about it. It's 3 hours. Yuck. I'm like, it didn't really feel like it wasn't a big hassle to me to be sitting there for 3 hours. And, it's just like, it was great. That's why I want a recliner seat. Yeah. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I went and saw the Batman at Cinnabar, where like they serve drinks and they got the trays and the recliners and stuff like that. Yeah. Um, yeah. No, you weren't there. So I'll I'll show you the inside of the Cinnabar. Um, Next time that I go to the theater, I'll bring the broadcast in so you can see the place. It's pretty swank. It's pretty nice. Um, they got pool tables. They got a couple video games upstairs. They got a bar. They have like a lounge area with couches and stuff. It's really nice. Working in the cinema seems to be sick. It depends on the type of cinema, but this place, yeah, you think it would be. Um, uh, it's been fortunate that this one, I mean, it's got the parking garage attached to it, so you can get really good parking, and just like doesn't take you very much to get inside the place from there. Um, Thinking about it now, like if it was a different place and time, like if it was pre-COVID, I couldn't imagine going in there. But post-COVID, like people still aren't getting out much, so there's not a lot of people in the place. But yeah, with the bar and everything, if people were more social, uh, I might not enjoy it as much as the other people would. But good for them if they enjoy it. That's fine. It is. If you want to, you can look it up online. Cinnabar, Cinebarre, West Town Mall, Knoxville. And they have some pictures in there, I'm sure, online that you could see the place. But yeah, next time I go to the theater, um, which will probably be April, like 2 weeks. In about 2 weeks, Morbius comes out. So I'll probably go again. Trying to think what else is coming out about that same time. I think it's Morbius is the thing that's coming up next. But um, what was I saying? Um, Yeah, before the show starts, they have like servers coming around taking your order. You could order wings, you could order beer, you could order a burger. Um, I don't eat any of that shit, so I don't. I just get a popcorn and a soda. But man, you should see the ones we had in Dubai. It was like going to a 5-star hotel. Oh, I can imagine, but the tickets would be $40. Sure, I ended up buying the Regal Pass for the year, the annual pass. So I think I probably spent like $130, $150. I can't remember how much, but it was over $100. But it's like unlimited movies at practically any Regal theater. Um, I think I spend like I think it's like a how much is it for the? I think it's like it comes out to like 50 cents for a movie because of taxes. Like 57 cents or something ridiculous like that. And um, I get 10% off a popcorn and a soda. And I earn credits every time I see a movie, so credits can go towards every once in a while I get a free popcorn or get a free drink or something like that. Sorry, I converted it wrong. It would be $150 a ticket. Yikes! 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 $40 even. $150 a ticket with popcorn. Oh well, then that's fine. Oh, with no popcorn. Okay. I was gonna say $150. Oh, you get a popcorn though, so that's perfectly fair. No, it's not fair. So imagine drinks. Sure. And especially if it's like they serve adult beverages. Holy shit. Yeah, take out a loan to go see a movie. Fuck. Butler, etc. No thanks. All that I need is a comfy seat, a buttered popcorn, and a soda. I don't need somebody to wipe my ass while I'm watching a movie. Yikes. But the seats are worth it. Are they? No. No. Mm-mm. It's like a giant lazy boy. Yeah, it, you're not gonna you're not gonna sell me on the $150 ticket. It has you in a cubicle. No. Like you could say the movie ticket includes a large popcorn and a hand job. You're not gonna sell me on it. I felt poor after since it was so yeah. Well, it's fantastic. I couldn't afford to live. I couldn't afford rent. I couldn't pay my phone bill, but it was a great movie. Nope. Yeah, phone bill. Hmm. Let's see. Yeah. Did I want to pay that student loan off, or do I want to go see a movie? Nope. Well, uh, how's pizza business? Not bad. Not bad. Luckily, I only have to work 3 days a week, so it's tolerable. this week especially, because yesterday was a little slow. Today, I'm not working until noon. So at least there's something interesting happening this weekend that the days are flying by. You running the place yet? No. I don't want to run the place. No. Nope. I want to punch in, do my job for 7 hours, make a little bit of money to put in my pocket, a little pocket cash, and then get the hell out of there. It's nice to have flexibility. Yeah. 3 days a week. Like I said, a little cash in the pocket. Then I can go right back to sleeping in and playing video games or watching YouTube on my phone. And I am absolutely about relaxation now. I think I've spent enough of my life working 40 hours a week towards something, anything, hoping that I work hard enough that I can be rewarded and, be the company guy and, the nose to the grindstone sort of shit. And now it's like, no, I got to get up in the morning and you got to make that rent money and you got to make that, pay your bills and same, but I realize it's not how hard it is, but how, right. Work smarter, not harder. Exactly. Used to grind too much. There had been so many years of my life, like 10 years ago, I was a much different person than I was today. Shit, 20 years ago, I was a much different guy. Never buy loyalty. Yep. Yeah, like it's kind of like awakening from a dream, right? Like the whatever we were eating or whatever we were being fed or whatever 20 years ago, we're waking up from it now going, holy shit, it's been wrong. It's so wrong. Like COVID, for as horrible as it's been, has really been a wake-up call for a lot of people. I think that's what part of the issue is right now. Talk about the Matrix. I feel like there's been a few people that are really starting to wake up from that and be like, wait, all these things that we were doing and the way that life was, I'd been feeling that for a while, but it's like you think that life is supposed to be a certain way. I mean, that's the ongoing theme with me. You think that life's supposed to be a certain way, and then it just gets to a point where you're like, wait a minute, no. It's not you work your ass off and you get rewarded. It's you work your ass off. That's it. That nose to the grindstone, you just end up with no nose. The problem with the U.S. is that it's the only Western country with the least breaks for workers. Yeah. Well, that's the other countries give so many holidays. That's the thing, isn't it? There's so much that we're told. There's so much that I've been told in my life. I can't say it's for everybody. I can assume that everybody's this way, but I don't know. But I know that for me, it's not atypical for someone to be told you need to get up at 6 in the morning, bright and early before dawn, at the crack of dawn, and eat a big breakfast, the 3 square meals a day, get out, get out there in the fields, get out there in the workplace, work your ass off all day, make sure you eat plenty of meat and you make sure you eat plenty of, just eat tons of calories and work your ass off and sweat and toil and, the you work until the sun goes down, and then no, but seriously, that is a lot of what we're told is this is the way that you live your life, and you work really hard, uh, and um, and when you work hard, you get rewarded, and then when you turn 65, you can retire, and then it's sunny days from then on. Then you go out the pasture. They dangle the carrot of rewards. Right, right. When the reality of the situation is all that has done, all that blue collar brainwash, that blue collar propaganda that we're given about, you work hard and you get the rewards, all that's done has made a handful of people super rich. You know, we're told, and that was something I was watching the other day, where it's like any the companies that sell that are in the market of selling beef or eggs or milk, like the big farmer businesses, not farmers, but the farming industry, run these ad campaigns that we get on our television sets every day of eat beef, it's milk will do your body good, and eggs, and the beef, and make sure you eat, make sure you consume, and all these sodas will make your life so great, and Red Bull gives you wings, and McDonald's is I'm loving it, and like all this marketing that's put on under our noses, and it's basically a commercial, it's a big pitch, and so much of this stuff gets put under our eyeballs and put under our noses like every day. So like that's what life is. Life is it's the same thing about when you're before you even leave high school, make sure you have a career in mind, make sure you have college in mind. And when you're in college, make sure that you need to find somebody. You're in your 20s now, you're practically a grown up, you need to find a partner, and a wife or husband. You need to, once you get that wife or husband, you need to have that career all set. Once you have that career all set, you need to start making that money and make some babies. You need to get that house, you need to get that car, you need to get that new thing, and uh, you have to get married. You have to um, put your kids through school. Put the generate that money. Always work your ass off every day, because to pay all these things off. And this is the mold, the formula that you have to follow your whole life. But you're gonna it's gonna feel like garbage. You're gonna feel like crap. But just think about the good thing that's gonna come at you in the end. And you just work you and work you and work you and work you and work you. Um, you're not doing enough unless you're working 40 hours. Like, it's that white picket fence. Yeah, you're and they like you start hearing things like I heard in my life. 100% is minimum. That's something that you get told, and I've heard from several employers. Like, doing 100% is the bare minimum. How many times have I heard 110%? And like, there's no 110%. All is all. Doing everything you can is all. I mean, that's it. There's no more than 100%. You're given everything. It's like, that should be the minimum. What a bullshit mentality to promote. Meanwhile, there are people in other countries that like get up around 9 or 10, work a few hours, take a few hours to, you can take a nap, and why go above and beyond for any company who won't when you need them to? Right. And then on top of that, the whole mentality of we're a family, like concepts like that. Oh, we're just a family. We look out for each other. Uh, we all look out for each other. If you come here, don't kill yourself. Yeah, work well, right? Certainly be professional. Certainly, uh, promoting being professional is one thing. I am absolutely an advocate for professionalism. Take pride in your work. Yeah, craftsmanship. Um, Representing. The word is honor. Honor was one of those, bending backwards now. Yeah. Honor is one of those words that I really didn't know the meaning of. You hear the word honor. When I hear the word honor growing up, it's an important word, but I never really connected with the definition. And the whole thing is representing your family, representing your name, representing that which is important to you, kind of thing. Um, Honoring yourself, honoring your family, honoring your country or your business, whatever. Ethos, yeah. So, but just like a lot of things, you take stuff into account, and you don't really think about it, and people use those certain words and misuse those words. So you just hear the word and you think, honor means to hold myself to a certain standard and maintain that standard. And there are people that will use that to be like, are you a company guy? Are you really representing the company? Are you really working as hard as you should? And just kind of twist that and twist it and distort it and distort it. So it becomes, are you a good American? Are you really putting in the effort? You want to rest, and like the whole that's the same thing as like how they use the term hustle these days. All right, that you got to grind, you got to hustle, you got to put in that work, do the work. When it gets tough, keep working. When you're working out, it's not enough to be healthy. You got to burn. You got to, life is pain and success is pain, and you got to live with that pain, and you got to push through. And when things get tough and you're tired, keep pushing. And when when you feel like you can't move on, keep pushing. When like that, almost a military mentality. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't. And if you rest, if you relax, like, comfort is a bad word, luxury is a bad word. um Calm and, uh you know um I've felt bad. I've felt really self-conscious because, I don't process things like some. I have a slower. I work slower than others. Like, I work at a slower pace. My brain works at a slower pace, and I've been, either it's been me thinking that. I don't know how much of it is other people influencing the way that I think, but I've always felt bad that I just don't do things at a pace other people do. And I've certainly been ridiculed by that with certain employers. Um, but it's like, no, there's nothing wrong with the way that I'm doing things. I'm doing things at my own pace. It's perfectly fine. Other people, you don't look at your fastest employee and say that's the bar. And if you don't hit, if someone's working as hard as they can, you don't say that's the standard, and everything below that needs to tighten it up. That's not the way to be. Push and burn and pain and do and aggression, and it's like, no, it doesn't have to be that way. You don't have to work 40-hour-a-week job. You don't have to, like, and if you start to break, take meds, but show up and do the work. If you need to puke, but get back to work. If you're having a bad day, suck it up. You can cry later. Get to work. Uh, mm-hmm. Yep. They love drugging you. It's true. Don't fix the problem. Just give the people something to patch it up, and go back to work. suppress it. Yeah, it's true. And on top of that, being a man, that's a whole other level right there. Being an American male, luckily that's starting to change, and I think that's fantastic. That people are the idea of mental health, about the importance of having your shit together. Like, I had a checkup, and my doc was like, "You should do more drugs." I was like, "Fuck yeah, right. We should put you on other medication." It's true. And I can understand some of it because, like me, at 49 years old, I need to take medication to lower my blood pressure because my blood pressure was high. I need to take medication for diabetes and for high cholesterol and stuff like that. So it's not like that stuff doesn't have its use. Problem is, docs here get commission for drug. Um, when you get to the point where you have a heart attack, something is wrong and needs to change. Like you're starting right. When it's bad and you need something to counteract how bad it is, or like depression, anxiety, stuff like that, that too, to get your head out of, or to get your body out of that emergency, is one thing. But then also on top of that is diet and the change. Like, I don't need to take my anxiety and depression meds because I'm not in that. I'm not in a lot of that scenario that I'm having that anxiety and that depression, because I took care of a lot of it by getting rid of a lot of shit in my life. And maybe I still need some of that meds. If it's a chemical imbalance, yeah, the medication is going to help on that. But a lot of what's helped me a lot is getting out of that scenario of working my ass off and I'm not doing enough and I'm a piece of shit, and I'm not working hard enough, I'm not working fast enough, I'm not, I'm a man, so I should be able to do more. I'm 6 foot tall man, so I should be able to do more. And when I was younger, I could I sh- if I'm stronger than some people, so I should work harder. And she said, for COVID, I got a little heavier, and she's like, go do drugs to help you. I was like, huh? There might be something that you can take to get you healthier, but there's also stuff that you don't have to take to get yourself healthier. Like, I should have been, for the longest time, not eating as much as I was. I'll just work out more. Yeah. Yeah, that's true too. But I dropped a lot of weight since December. I've dropped like 70 pounds, but it wasn't just the meds that I was taking. It's helped my cholesterol, dropped my blood pressure down. I still got a ways to go, and there's some problems that I've had that, like, I need it now because I've abused my body before. But I'm certainly not eating 3 meals a day. I'm not eating an entire fucking pizza, that's for sure. Um, you know, uh, I could exercise and drop more weight and be healthier, but, like, I'm certainly on the right path. Still going to Chinese people. Yeah, like, every day, mostly what I eat is like steamed broccoli and chicken, and I don't deny myself the egg roll or the crab rangoon, or a little bit of. I get the egg foo young without the sauce. I don't get the gravy and stuff on it. I just get the like omelet kind of a thing, the egg foo young thing. But mostly vegetables more than anything else. I could probably eat healthier too with that if we're not working it. Yeah. Um, yeah. Uh, I mean, my body's gross now because I lost a lot of fat. So I'm like, there's a lot of shit hanging off me now. But there comes a point where like that's just like none of that's gonna tighten back up again. That's just the way it is. I got stuff hanging off me now. It's not pretty. It's never gonna be pretty. I'm not you know I was never known for my body. Uh, so whatever. That's just shit that I everybody goes through that. Everybody grows up. Everybody gets old. Nobody, not everybody has the same body they had when they were 20 or 30. It's just how it is. Whatever. Um, but I'm a lot happier than I was, and I feel old. Time has gone by for everybody, man. Like all of us that stuck together from Periscope. I was talking about that earlier. Like Ben and I have known each other since about 2007. Uh, that's 15 years. Uh, it's crazy. 34 this year. Yep. Hey, man. There's the boy. Yep. Been together a long time, man. It's like time is, yeah, time is just, that's crazy. And who I was, I feel it in my bones. Oh, yeah. I feel bad for saying it, for saying that I'm getting old. I feel bad. I feel like part of my brain is saying that's an excuse, and it's not true. I get that sentence now, yeah, but it absolutely is true. I think about who I am as a person, who I feel like as a person, and I think me in my brain as like a 28, 29-year old. But then the reality of you think about who you are and where you like in my brain, I am 28, 29 years old. And then I think about how I feel. And I'm like, no, I'm like, some people will say 50 is not old, but if you're feeling it, you're feeling it. It's the same thing as when somebody says, "Oh, you live in Tennessee. Oh, you don't know what cold is. I live in Alaska," and it's like, no, I know what cold is. You're dealing with fucking like you don't. It doesn't need to be negative degrees to be cold. 30 degrees is still sub freezing temperatures. It's still cold. 50 years old is not 70 years old. It's not 90 years old. Granted, but it's still old. You know, I'm thinking back to when I was 28, 29, when I could bounce back from pretty much anything. I don't bounce anymore, man. You know, man, I miss my 20s. Me too. Uh, I still feel young, and I still act young, and I still think young, but I'm not young, man. Like when you're 50 years old, you've been on this earth for half a century. You get old. I mean, you're old. It's not a false statement. If I'm locked in at 28, 29 years old, let's call it 30. If I'm locked in at 30, I've been 30 for 20 years. Like the other day, I was walking, I almost tripped and fell 10 times worse than I should. Right? Yeah. Yep. You start making those noises, eventually it'll come where you're like, uh, ugh. And just by passive listening, you're not trying to, like, I don't watch the news. and I don't watch a lot of TV. Anything that you're exposed to, like anything that's on the radio or anything that's like just like I said, passive perception. Um, you you still hear the same thing over and over again. You hear common things, and if you've been alive for and paying attention for 30 years, 20 years even, I get why people when they get older get a little grumpy, just because you've simply been around for a long time and you've heard the same shit over and over and over again. So yeah, shit's gonna make you grumpy because you're just sick of hearing it. Um, like I'm driving along and I'm trying to remember where that place is. Uh, just in the past couple years, working at Domino's here in Knoxville, you um, I'm trying to figure out how to say this, so I'll just say it. You see the same things, like small talk about weather. Right, exactly. Yeah. Well, looks like how's the weather? It's like, shut up, stop. Just don't need to, you don't need to do that. Or so I'm in the same area, so I take the same route. So you see the same roads. You're taking the same exit. It's the same speed, the same turn radius, the same like it's routine. And down the quickest way for me to get to the other side, to the other end of this route that I'm in, this area that I'm in, I take the exit this way and I go around onto the highway, and then I take an exit on this place called Cherry Street. So you're at the light at Cherry Street almost every time, like every week, every day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm looking at the same lights and the same billboard and the same, um, you know, uh, that same position every day where it's like, I'm going to take a left and I'm going to head up towards a certain part of town. And so there's a sign that says work hard, play hard for, I think it's for this boot company, this boot brand, Lariat Boots. And just seeing that, I was like, work hard, play hard. Like, I'm sick of it. It's like, it's such a cliche line. Like, somebody thought of that, and like, I have this image in my head that I irritate myself by this somebody that's like, that's a good, somebody's like really proud of themselves. Work hard, play hard. Yeah. And it just like, it makes me mad at myself, irritated at the thought of that. Just the repeated every time I see that, to look somebody that's thinking they're yeah, work hard, play hard. It's awesome. So I'm like, that was one of those examples of, yeah, I get it why old people are grumpy, because you just hear the same thing over and over again. You're just like, oh, shut up, I'm sick of it. Like I was thinking about the other day, going somewhere new, but you see the same shit like malls. Yeah, uh, a lot of that's comforting, right? In a way, a lot of it's comforting to know that no matter where you go, there will be a town center. You'll find a Walmart. Like, if somebody in a van, where I might be a little insecure about, oh, I'm just, it's so weird to, I'm going to get on the road and I'm going to go to these places where, like, you don't have that sense of security, because the scenery is changing. You're going from town to town and stuff. But then to get that realization of, no, I'm going to be all right, because there's always going to be gas stations. If you're going to be in a town where there's people, there's going to be a Walmart. There's going to be a gas station. It's that same thing that I get from other people, where they're like, how do you live in a van? How do you do it? How do you use the bathroom? I'm like, what do you do for food? You don't have a bathroom. You don't have a fridge. You don't, like, how do you exist? How do you not just die? And it's like, no, there's like bathrooms everywhere, and there's running water. And like, I went to LA and I was bored after 2 days. Right, right. You get to the point where it's just like, no, you're gonna be fine. And well, I've been nervous about traveling overseas and stuff. I'm like, I don't know if I don't. It's there's nothing to it. For you, it's like, yeah, I'll just fucking go, and I'll, when I land, there'll be the same thing. You're not going to Mars or some shit where nothing exists. You're just, you're taking a mode of transportation everybody takes. You're going to land in an area where there's still air conditioning, there's still hotels and streets and clothing. There's still going to be, you're not shooting into a rocket, or you're shooting from a rocket into outer space and some shit where it's like, is there gonna be air in Dubai? Will they have water? You live in a van? How do you breathe? How are you able, like, you're still wearing clothes? You're not just like draped in animal skins and banging rocks, eating dirt? How do you survive? I was asked once if we use camels for transportation. Oh yeah. No, banthas, right? Because it's out in the desert, just like Star Wars. You ride banthas. You don't know it's true. And every time you travel, it's just like the shawms, the flutes and shit, and snakes floating up from baskets, and it's just constantly on repeat. It's the same playlist all the time. That's right. Yep. Every day. Wake up in the morning. Right. A lot of rugs. That's weird. Right? It's where all the carpets come from. Just the place it's sand and carpets. Just riddled. I have a magic carpet. It's just, they're uh just crawling with them. It's so funny, but yeah. Just like here in America, you know, we just like we're you could literally walk. You could walk from Maine to California and just like never touch the ground. Like you could just walk on the malls. It's just strip malls the whole way. Like the floor is lava. You could just like walk from rooftop of the mall, strip malls, from one end of the U.S. to the other. Just all a mall. McDonald's for miles. That's all it is. And we eat beef constantly. All we wear are jeans. My sister went to Japan with her American friend. Oh, we all know about Japan, sure. Everybody, all the girls in Japan are tiny little schoolgirls. That's all they have in Japan. Her friend started crying because she couldn't find McDonald's on their trip. That's actually kind of weird. I would imagine that they have a shit ton of. I would imagine they have a shit ton of McDonald's. In You go there and you want burgers. That's actually kind of unusual. Like I would think that there would be a ton of McDonald's over in Japan. Somewhere remote. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, we're somewhere remote. Yeah, if you're not in the city, there's gonna be less McDonald's. It's gonna happen. Just like in the United States. If you look around the horizon and you don't see a single McDonald's, is that what they think should be? Like, if you can't see another McDonald's, if you go to a McDonald's and you can't see another McDonald's from that McDonald's, there's something wrong. Like, you should be able to do that. You should be able to. But you go overseas, what do you think? Yeah, it's almost starting to get that bad here in America, where it's like, it, if you travel more than 5 minutes from one Starbucks to another Starbucks, there's something wrong. But yeah, that's like there. Other shit exists. People have an addiction. It's true. Well, you're telling me I work for Domino's, man. If somebody doesn't use their app on their phone or make a phone call and order a pizza, and if that pizza isn't in their mouth by the time they hang up the phone, you're gonna get some shit. You're gonna get some upset people. You don't need to tell me about addiction. I don't get yelled at a lot. No, no, but people can be shitty and not be like super aggressive. They can, they're just like, some people can just be shitty. Like, you're gonna get a shitty person every day. You're gonna get somebody that's just shitty. Like, I had to deal with a couple people yesterday. Um, I will admit I do make mistakes, and I'm, well, not I wouldn't call him a Karen. Just like, um, although literally I have had people like, I need to speak to your manager. So I guess technically that would be a Karen. But I have heard, uh, it wasn't yesterday, but it was last week. I did hear, well, you just lost a customer. I'm waiting for my Karen encounter. um, Last week, I did get a guy that wanted to complain that, like, the way he embellished quite a bit to make it seem like it had been a couple hours until he got his food and the food was cold. And it's like, no, let's really break this down. Like, he said he placed an order and he wanted to call and complain because the order was cold and he wasn't happy with the service. And he said that, but the more you break it down, the more you realize that he just didn't get the food when he wanted it to, and it wasn't hot right out of the oven, because it takes a little bit of time for us to make the. He was saying his food was cold. He wasn't happy with it, and he waited about 2 hours for his food. But the more that we picked it apart, and I'm talking to him on the phone, and I'm like, well, I'm just a driver. I'm not a manager, so I can't resolve your situation. I can't fix the problem, but at least let me help explain the situation. You've done DoorDash. What happens when you complain and get credits? Do you lose? Oh, if somebody complains about the service with DoorDash, uh, I've never been like super reported. Um, I don't really know that any marks or whatever against me for like poor service or whatever. I don't know that I've been affected at all by that stuff. Like if anybody actually complains about the service or whatever, like within 2 weeks it gets off my record anyways. Like you really got to screw up a lot in order to be affected by that sort of thing. Yeah, see, it's been a little bit since I did DoorDash. So I don't really recall. My record wasn't spotless, but if anything happened, you just wait 2 weeks and then it goes away. So yeah, you really gotta screw up all. You have to put some work into screwing up in order for it to really affect your thing. But this guy, it was last Saturday that I got the phone call, and then he was complaining about what happened the day earlier. So he ordered on a Friday. He said he ordered at 6:30 and he didn't get his food until 8:30. 2 hours. And when he got the order, it was cold, and he was really upset. And then I end up so that's what he told me. And I asked for his phone number. I looked it up. I looked at the address, confirmed his address and everything. He placed the order at 6:54. So 5 minutes to 7. And I told him that our dinner rush is between normally like 4:30 and 7 o'clock. When the biggest business that we get is during that time. And then I said, really looking into it, I'm like, okay, so you did it. You ordered during dinner rush. Even if it was 5 till 7, it's still we would consider that normal peak business on a Friday, on a weekend, which is most people. Friday and Saturday are the days that most people order, like the most amount of orders that we get. And I told him that normally for like a Domino's, especially for us, we've had a worker shortage. People just like if we had, how much is gas now there? What's going on, Emmanuel? About $4.10 unleaded normal gas. Yeah, I pay about $4.10 a gallon here in Knoxville. Some places it's $5 or more, but I've seen on the internet $9 and shit like that. Yeah, just for regular gas. So I'm like, in most places, like I know for us, in where we're at, which is the store that he ordered his pizza, most of the time it's one person making the pizza and then one driver delivering the pizza. And usually it's like 10 minutes. Once they make the pizza, it's 5 minutes, 5 to 8 minutes to fix the pizza up, right? And then another 10 minutes to get it to you. So you're looking at about 15, 20 minutes for us to get the pizza to you. So it's not going to be fresh out of the oven because it's been 15, 20 minutes. But we take it out of the oven where it's still cooking, put it into a box, put that box into a thermal bag, and then we deliver it to you within like 10, 15 minutes. I hope you're compensated for your gas. I am. Yeah. For mileage. Yeah. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, it's peak time. One person's making the pizza. One person's delivering the pizza. So if the person's out on a run, they're probably not going to get back from their run. It's going to take them a half an hour-ish to get the stuff out of the store, go deliver it, and then come back. So if any orders come in, and you're talking about maybe on the average, like, let's say 5 people ordering 5 pizzas each. It's 25 pizzas this person has to prepare themselves and then put in the oven, which runs on a conveyor belt that only goes so fast. It's a 500-degree oven, so it takes like 5 or 6 minutes to go through the oven. So they have to they have to load the oven, and they can only do that at so fast. And then everybody wants sides, and everybody wants this and wants that, and so like this person's trying to prepare all the food and get all the food in the oven so it'll go through and then get picked up, on the other end and put in boxes and prepared and put on the shelf. So what we want is to do it as fresh as possible. So if someone orders something at 7:00, we're not going to get it ready immediately. 5 minutes, it's done, and then out the door in 10 minutes. Don't forget the wings. Exactly. Where's the owner of the franchise? I have no idea. I don't think I ever met him. What they end up doing is, in order to get the food to the person, once they place the order, usually we time the order out. So if you order the food at 7:00, we time it so that if the person's out on a run and they come back, if there's a couple orders, you're looking at about an hour before we make the pizza. Don't you think they should be helping? Oh, I know that they are. We have a lot of people, a lot of folks that some of them are even working at other stores. The guy that runs the owner of the franchise runs he has about 6 or 7 stores in the Knoxville area. Knoxville is not just one shop; it's like 8 shops. I want to say it's like 8 shops. Maynardville campus, Sutherland, Halls, Millertown, Broadway, Asheville Highway. Oh, more than that then. It's got to be more than that then. It's going to be more like 10 stores. And they're usually running around being that other person. If there's one person running the store and maybe an insider and maybe a driver, that's like 30 people, which is not a lot of people considering how many people, we're talking about. Each area could be 3,000 people potentially for customers. Like, it's a lot of folks that you got to make a lot of pizzas for, and people just don't consider that scope. They just don't consider that. They're like, I am one person and I am ordering a pizza. I should get my pizza within a half an hour or less, like everybody assumes that Domino's does. Like half an hour or less, so it's free, just like we've seen on the commercials. Well, you know what? Not the way it is anymore. We're post-pandemic. Like, we're dealing with a lot of shit. This is not going to happen. You're not going to get your shit in a half an hour or less. Sometimes maybe, but it's not guaranteed. We don't do the guarantee anymore. There's a reason for it. Bring that back. That's some horse shit right there. You know what? If you want your pizza, come and make it. You should be happy we don't do that. Make it your damn self. So you break all of it down. If somebody orders their pizza at 7 p.m., which 6:54 is not 6:30, it's more like 7:00. And if we have other orders, other people are making their orders, and we have to time everything out so that at least when the person making the pizzas makes the pizza and it goes through the oven and it comes out the other side of the oven, it's going to be fresh to put in boxes and put on the shelf. Then the driver's going to come in eventually within like 10 or 15 minutes, get the pizza, put it in a box, along with other orders sometimes. Sometimes we're delivering like 3 orders at a time. That's a lot of pizzas. You can maybe stack 4 pizzas on top of each other to fit in one of those bags. And then you're doing multiple orders. So you're talking about 3 bags, about 12 pizzas. Sometimes there are sides or the cookie brownies or whatever that you're putting in there. Then you got to lug some 2 liters sometimes. and then you got to travel out 10 minutes here, 6 minutes to one place, then 6 minutes to another place. That's 12 minutes. Like, factoring all of that in, you're not going to get a stone cold pizza, but it's not going to be fresh, hot out of the oven, which you don't want that. When you make a pizza when you make a meal yourself, you don't take it right out of the oven and put it in your mouth. And like, people want the first degree burns or something, or some shit like that. How dare you don't know it was me who ordered it? Factoring everything in, you'll get your pizza when you get your pizza. If you're really going to be upset about it, I'm like, maybe you shouldn't order from Domino's if that's really a problem for you. But people in the store, nobody wants to hear that though. Yeah, exactly. We're picking up. But even then, nobody wants to hear that. They're like, no, I want what I want. And if you're not giving me what I want, then I'm going to be upset. And this guy said, when I tried to explain it to him, he's like, well, I just want you to know that you just lost a customer. Like, you weren't fucking listening to what I had to say. It was like, you wanted me to be like, oh, I'm so sorry, let me give you a free thing or whatever. Because I didn't say that. Well, you just lost a customer. And when I hung up with the guy, I'm like, I'm not crying about it. I'm fine. Like, what do you want? Do you want that for a response? No, don't say that. I'm sorry. Is that the response that you want? $20 a month, maybe. And you know what? Also, if you want pizza, you're not moving to a different area. If you want pizza, you're ordering at some other place that may not be as good as Domino's. So you're just screwing yourself in that case. Yeah, exactly. You're coming back. If I go to McDonald's and I order a burger, first of all, if you're not satisfied with the way that we cook our food, and you'd rather have this or that done a certain way, like you don't like, we don't put enough sauce on our Alfredo or whatever, like, go to McDonald's and order your burger well done. Give that a shot. See what happens. I'm like, if you're gonna go buy shit, you're gonna eat shit. If you're unhappy with the quality of the pizza that you get, don't get pizza. Make the shit your own way. Buy a jar of sauce and put as much sauce as you want. Get one of those DiGiorno pizzas and make it your damn self. I guarantee you, it's not going to be 5-minute pizza. We put shit on scales, so there's like a certain amount of ingredients we put on there. Like, for budget reasons, we can't just like throw as much cheese as we want and as much toppings as we want and do all that shit. Like, it has to be uniform. And so there's a quality standard that we have the eyeballs on us. Every minute that we spend making a pizza gets tracked. So it's not, we're not just like doing whatever the hell we want. If it takes 10 minutes for somebody to make a pizza, the company's going to know about it because we have computers and shit that time everything out. No, like, if somebody places an order online, it goes through our computer and ends up on our screens, and there's like it goes through an application that anybody could look up what our delivery times and shit are. So we can't just do whatever we want. We have to do shit as quick as we can, and with the equal professionalism. Like, you hold yourself to that standard. I'm a professional guy. I'm not gonna, you don't spit on people's pizzas and do all that shit that you hear people doing. None of that shit happens. We're all like, we get upset because we want to make these orders on time and we want to get them out the door fresh, and it's just, shit takes time. This person wants pepperoni on his pizza. I don't know this person. I'm not going to be wrecking this person's order. I'm like, we don't care about you that much. I want a large pepperoni pizza. That's a certain number of slices of pepperoni get put on that pizza. As a matter of fact, we care about the way that we make our products. We don't like, I don't like seeing a pizza that doesn't look circular. If something looks like it's a little oval or it's got bubbles or shit like that, if it looks like it's not done, if it looks like the crust is, the crust doesn't look like, there's a certain level of quality. No, I want pizza before 10. Yeah. So, but people just don't think about that. They're like, you know, they order pizza and it magically appears. And they don't give a shit about any of the process or who does it or who delivers it. Like, you don't think about that. And that's fine. But you don't bitch somebody out because I ordered a pizza and I swear if I don't have it like if I don't have that pizza in my mouth and as soon as I hang up the phone, I'm going to be upset. You just lost a customer. Go to McDonald's and say that. They're like, you know what? I ordered a double quarter pounder with no pickles, and I got pickles on my cheeseburger. You just lost a customer. You think they're going to give a shit? If they don't work in that area, they don't get it. Yeah. If they make, I mean, I get upset sometimes when I make a mistake, and I'm sorry about that. Like if somebody, yesterday, somebody came in looking for their order, and they ordered Parm Bites and a soda, and I had just come in off of a run, and there were only two things on the shelf. But the one thing I looked at on the shelf, I didn't really look at the name or anything on this one box because I thought it was somebody else's order. Somebody came in, ordered wings and a garlic dip or something. It was a mango habanero dip or whatever. Somebody came in and they said they wanted. It was in fact it was another nurse here at the dental place. She's like she wanted wings and a dip cup. And I thought that this order, I didn't really look at the name on the order, so I thought that the order that I saw was this woman. But it was another word. She wanted Parm Bites and a soda. And I'm like, where's the order? I go to the guy that was making the pizzas. I'm like, where's this woman's order? I'm like, do you have it or something? And he's like, no, it should be up there. I'm like, yeah, I don't see it. I just didn't read the name on that one box, and so it was a mistake. He ended up just walking up and picking up the box and doing that thing like it's right here, right in front of you, idiot. And so I felt bad about it. I'm like, oh, the customer must think I'm an idiot too. And then she wanted a mellow yellow. We didn't have a mellow yellow in the store, 20-ounce mellow yellow. So I had to check with the Coke guy. The Coke guy was outside. So I'm like, hold on a second, I'll be right back. I went to go check on the Coke guy. The Coke guy said, we don't have mellow yellow. So I went back. I'm like, okay, we don't have mellow yellow. Was there like another kind of a drink? She's like, I'll take a Coke. So I got her order. I'm like, again, sorry. She walked out the door. I'm like, she probably thinks I'm an idiot. So I was beating myself up a little bit about that. I don't want to make mistakes, but it's like, so kind of self-conscious about that. But it's just like, yeah, shit happens, right? I don't want that shit to happen. I don't want to make mistakes. And people don't consider that. They think that, because they don't know me and they don't know what I do, they're just like, give me my pizza, idiot. It's about me. I don't care who you are and what you want and what you're thinking. No, just give me my pizza. Or there was another time it was kind of funny. I remember you got in trouble for that homeless dude. I got in trouble for that homeless dude. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I was up in New Hampshire. Yep. I don't know what that dude wanted, but he said he didn't have shoes. He didn't have shoes or anything. I mean, maybe he wanted free food or whatever, but I'm like, I got a pair of uh, sandals in the car. He wanted something to put on his feet, so I gave him a pair of sandals. Went inside, and the dude, the manager on duty, was like, "Why'd you do that? Now he can come into the store." I'm like, whatever. Way to go, flip flop. Because I was being considerate. Because the guy didn't have something. Like, I'm an asshole because somebody needed something and I had something to give. Wow. Yes, that's crazy. What are you gonna do? You haven't done Schmokies in a while, have you? No, I haven't. I've actually talked myself out of it a couple times. The other day, it was a beautiful day. It was getting in the evening. I think it was like must have been like Wednesday or Thursday. It was Wednesday, I think it was. I went for a drive, and I'm like, you know what? I haven't done in a while. I haven't done a coffee and a smoky. The more I thought about it, I'm like, well, it's in the evening, and if I smoke, I mean, if I have a coffee, like I'm gonna be probably up for a while, and I don't want to do that because I want to sleep. And I just kind of thinking it over in my head. I'm like, I don't know if it's really worth it at this point. So I talked myself out of it. Sometimes I think too much. But I was thinking about it the other day. The coffee and smoky. I miss that. I miss hanging out on here. In fact, you know what? I thought about you specifically, Bilbo. I'm like, that'd be kind of cool. Go get a coffee and a smoky and broadcast for a little while. Bilbo will be on there. We'll hang out and chill. And I'm like, that'd be fucking cool. My brother called. Mike called me yesterday. My brother up in Maine, and he said he's like, I'm just sitting here and looking at the. It's got a little brush pile built up in the front yard. He's like, yeah, I'm looking here at the brush pile, thinking got a Mike's night coming up because he'd get Mike's hard lemonade or whatever. I think he'd get the Mike's hard lemonade, the black cherry, and he's like, yep, I think you know, get a fire going, and hit a couple mics. So I wanted to give you a call and see if you want to come up and buy a cigar and sit here and drink a couple mics with me and bullshit while we get the fire going. I'm like, shit, yes. I'm like, would love to. And I'm like, you know what? I said, he's a good guy. He misses, yeah, yeah. That was very cool. You just want to call and see what I was up to and say that. I'm like, I go, I don't need to. I go, would I like to be there and chill out with you by the fire and bullshit and what? Absolutely. Do I want to make the trip? No, thanks. I'm like, I don't. Just thinking of it, I could just fly up. I'm like, just pick me up and we'll hang out and I'll spend the night and then take me back to the airport the next day. I don't need to drive. It's not like I got a house to keep track of or kids or a dog to watch or anything like that. I don't have anything. I can just, yeah, it's super easy. I can just park the van in Ben's driveway and see if he can just give me a lift to the airport, and I just pack an overnight bag, my duffel bag or whatever, carry on. We need a puppy scope. I don't know if I want to do that, only because yeah, I know. I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know if my heart can take it. I was just talking about that the other day. The two things that I'm missing in the world is a better van and Melvin, which is going to be super tough if I get another van and I get the van that I want. It's going to make it super tough because I'm going to want Melvin more. You know how it is. If you want something, it's going to take a few years. No, I don't want a few years. I want it now. Get him a little vest. Heck yeah. Yep. A hoodie. Oh, oh, a little hoodie for Melvin. Oh man, my boy. Where's my boy? Now, the more I think about that, though, believe me, there's been days where I've thought about that, about life with Melvin. It would be super cute. I thought about that, and I'm like, I just can't do it. Like, it has to be a certain time in my life, and it's just not the time. Dogs are expensive. Yeah, well, I don't mind that. The expensive part, I'm not even thinking about that. I'm thinking about having a dog to care for, caring about Melvin. Melvin's going to have to be in the vehicle and stay in the vehicle while I'm working. And I'm not always going to be out with the vehicle. I'm going to be in a store. I can go like when I do deliveries, obviously I'm not going to be always out of the vehicle. I'm going to be sometimes in the vehicle driving around, but still, like the dog's going to have to stay in the car from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And during the summertime, that's going to be horrible. So I'd have to run the car all day, and that'll go through so much gas. And what if we're slow? And go out to the vehicle and talk to him or whatever, and say hi, and then I go back inside, or I'm like, I gotta prep food. It wouldn't work. Uh, that's when I have to be in a place where once I get the van and doing the t-shirts and stuff like I wanted to, um, I'm in a different working situation where I could have Melvin nearby me on a leash, hanging out with me. Like if I'm in a place where I could take a couple minutes here and there and stop and spend some time with him. So yeah, I just can't. I couldn't do that delivering pizzas, especially for Domino's with a dog in the car and pizza in the vehicle too. I'm like, something's gonna go wrong a lot. You know, trying to keep the dog away from I gotta put the pizzas by my side, and he's gonna like what dog does not want to get in there. So I gotta keep not even eat the order, but just like stepping on the box or something. He doesn't know you're not supposed to touch that. So like a dog wouldn't know that. So he would be like trying to get in there and jumping on the box and jumping on the bag or something like that. I'm like trying to fight the dog while I'm driving. Stay away, stay away. No, stay back there, stay back there. I could see it. I could see it so easily. So, all right. Well, I'm gonna get going because they just showed up and they're starting to get would be painful. It would. Folks just started showing up, so I'm gonna go inside and start my day. thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. Anybody else that may have been hanging out watching the broadcast as well, thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for watching the broadcast. I'll be on tomorrow. I don't think I'll be on later today, but I'll be on tomorrow for sure. Hope you have a great day. Enjoy your Saturday. And follow me if you haven't followed me yet. Share the broadcast with your friends. Follow me on social media at 3231 3TWO3ONE. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Love you. Bye.